Hello again, Year 7. This is the part 2 of the Mini-Light tutorial for you to watch at home. And at the top of the page, there's a couple of Year 7 Mini-Lights from previous groups in previous years. And one of them is still, the LED is actually illuminated, which shouldn't happen. It should actually go out. It shouldn't be on permanently, but it's quite a nice photograph and it does show the location of the LED up here. The second one, a more angular one on the right, the blue one, the LED is not on, but we can just see that there's the faint impression of the circle where the battery cells go, just visible on the top of this one. They both show that there's a small hole at the in the lower corner for the key ring. Okay, so that's what we're making, and you can see that there's some colourful high impact polystyrene being added to cover up the battery hole. And we'll do all that for you in terms of getting all the polystyrene cut. We use your original design so it matches perfectly. Now, I've put a couple of similar designs at the bottom that you might be at this stage already, and it's just the finishing touches now that we need to add. So I'm going to go to my shape drawing tool and I'm going to click it and select ellipse from there. Next, I'm going to click in my drawing and I'm going to set the options to 25 wide and 25 high, which makes a circle with a diameter of 25 millimeters. Now I've got to place that somewhere inside my design. Now if I put it right in the middle of a design like this, it's going to be very difficult to get the LED on the outside so it shines and the legs to touch the battery. So we need to move that to within half a centimetre maybe of the outside. Now that means the LED will be down at the bottom of this face. It'll be poking out here. It always needs to go to the nearest exit. So if we want it to be between the ears, the LED, we'd need to place our circle up there. Okay, so that's going to give us the location of where we place our circle. Depends where the LED is going to be poking out. If it's low down, the LED will poke out the bottom, and like the yellow one above, I've moved it to the top. So the LED and that would be somewhere here for this one. Over on this one, this gentleman has put his at the top here, and I'll do the same. I'll use the black arrow to move it around, and it comes out of a corner here. Now that corner just needs flattening. We actually could probably do that on the sander just to flatten that very easily. It's probably the easiest way. So I'm not worried about the flat edge that's been put on there. We could do that. But that gives us about the right location. The second hole for the key ring, same technique, but this time when we click, we set the options to 4. 4 for the height, 4 for the width. That makes a small circle, 4mm diameter. Now that, again, choice of placement's up to you, but it's got to go fairly close to the outside of your design so that we can get the keyring in. There's no point being right in the middle. We'll never get the keyring to fit to the middle. So the 4mm hole for the keyring needs to be pretty close to the edge, or an edge, like that. Okay, once you've done that, that is enough for us. You could then send that in via Show My Homework or email it to me, jrb@sailgrammar.co.uk, and once we've got a class set, we'll laser cut them for you. We'll select a suitable piece of high impact polystyrene, HIPS as it's called, to put on the top and the bottom to cover up the battery hole and keep the battery in place, and present you with a Mini-Light based upon your design. Well, that's our plan. Whether or not we achieve that in the next few days is entirely up to you and other committing allowing us. So we'll try and get those done for you, but it requires you to produce the design. If you didn't have Illustrator at all, can't access it, just can't get on remote desktop for whatever reason, if you were just to produce an outline drawing similar to this in pen, then we could scan it using the scanner and we could convert it to an Illustrator file using something called live trace. It's called Live Trace, and it's one of the things that we can do with Illustrator. It's down here, and we can set to trace a drawing that you've done. So we'd scan it in and trace it and set it up as an Illustrator file that way. If that's your only option, then do that. You could even send in a photograph of your design and we could interpret it from that. Okay, so I'll end this video. That's the second video which helps you to get the design complete.